Hello, so this is my paper prototype for my chair interface. And so it has three different modes, one for a headrest controller, one for armrest controller, and one for foot pedal controller. And so I'm going to demonstrate a pretty basic game task and how you would go about doing it with each of the three modes of input. So imagine this is like a top-down RPG, like say a Pokemon game. So you start over here and you need to go talk to somebody else on the other side of the map. So I'm going to show how you move your character from point A to point B with these different modes of input. And each mode of input only has 4 switches, and so naturally you can't use them for up, down, left, or right, because then you would have no button to use for saving or talking to a person next to you. So in this case, you could use the controls as one switch for toggling your direction, and another button to toggle to move forward in whatever direction you're currently facing. And so I'm going to demonstrate how you would go about using the chair interface in each of the modes of input to complete this task of getting from point A to point B. So let's say these are the 2 armrests. Each armrest has 2 controls. On each one, the first one you do by pushing forward or pushing down with your hand, so the front part of each armrest, and then the other part you would push down with your elbow, so you're pushing on the back side of each armrest. So let's say we have one of these on each of the chairs, and so let's say we want to talk to this person over here, so we can use, say, the front button on this armrest, push down with our hand, and that would toggle the direction to go up. Maybe we could press back with the elbow to go forward. Maybe press that like 4 times or 3, and then we would toggle the direction again by pressing down. We would toggle again and again and again to get back to facing forward, and then we would press our elbow down to go forward, and then maybe we could use our hand on the other armrest as the interact button to talk to the person. So for the headrest, it would be a little too awkward to film with this taped to like a headrest of a chair and then try to film myself doing it at the same time. But I'm still going to demonstrate sort of how you could do it. So pretend that this is the headrest, and these dotted lines here delineate the 4 different controls. So you would just slightly tilt your head in each direction to activate that switch. And so with this task, let's say we wanted to rotate up so we could then go up and to the right. So let's press the right side. So let's sort of tilt our head to the right and press down that way. So let's do that once, and that'll rotate this way. And then let's say that pressing or moving your head slightly up and pressing on this section of the pad would move you forward. So then you would slightly just press back with your head, and then this would move you forward. Let's do that twice. And then you would rotate again like that, say 3 times, to rotate all the way around to the direction that you want to go. And then you would once again look up, kind of pushing the headrest a little bit back as a way to move forward. And then let's say you can maybe move your head to the left to interact. Maybe so push it that way to the left in order to interact with the person. Okay, so now we have the foot pedals, and each pedal can be pushed forward as one control and back with the heel as the other control. So you have 2 pedals for a total of 4 possible controls. So in this case, let's say pushing forward on the left pedal is the way for toggling direction. So we would take the left foot and we would push it forward like that. And that would toggle the direction this way. And then let's say pushing back on that same pedal with our heel would move forward 1 space. So then we would do back, and we would do back again to move 2 up. And then we would toggle again 3 times to rotate our way around to the way we want to go. And then we would do the heel again 4 times to move over here. And then let's say pressing forward on the right pedal would be the interact button, and then we can talk to the person. So that kind of demonstrates, the type of game that you could play with this interface. And sort of making this prototype kind of taught me that, the interface with only 4 modes of input, or only 4 controls per mode of input at a time, it does kind of limit the level of complexity that you can play a game with on this interface. So a game like this, say like a top-down old Pokemon game, it'll wait for your input, and so this sort of works with this chair. But like a fast-paced first-person shooter game where you have to use one joystick to move around, another joystick to look around, and then you need to also shoot, isn't really possible to do, at least not in an intuitive way, with just 4 binary switches. So this prototype sort of demonstrates the types of games and the types of tasks that you can complete when you only have 4 switches available at a time. And it kind of demonstrates that each section of the chair sort of operates in a similar way, which was done intentionally in order to ensure that the user can therefore pick the source of input that works best for them. And yeah, thank you very much.